Peace, brothers and sisters, family. This is Dr. Sadiki Baye coming to you once again, as usual, on Saturday, the day that the Lord has made, and we must rejoice and be glad in it. Um, I thank you once again for blessing me with an opportunity to enter into your home and to share with you what the Creator has blessed me with in honor of our ancestors. Today's topic, well, before I do that, please view uh, my channel on YouTube and push like and subscribe. And every Saturday, it will notify you to let you know that one of my videos are available. My recent video is available, but it has a list of all of the topics that I've been presenting to you for the last couple years. So today's topic is on health. There's nothing like health. Health is number one. And health can come in many ways. But first, allow me to tell you or to share with you what health is. Health is a state of complete freedom from illnesses and injury. Now, what do I mean by illness and injury? Illness is no more than a disease or a period of sickness affecting the body and the mind. And also, injury is damage that has affected the body and or the mind. So we want to free ourselves from the sicknesses and the injuries, which will promote health. Now, in other words, health is a state of mind that will be complete of physical, mental, and social well-being. So that's what health is, a state of complete freedom or a state of complete physical, social, and emotional well-being. And this is what I call triangular thinking. Triangular, which is the physical, which is the emotional, and which is the social well-being. Triangular, which is 3. And 3 is a complete number. It's a spiritual number when you study numerology. And with that in mind, I'd like to share with you also the 7 types of health or dimensions of health, because everything have dimensions. So I'd like to share with you the 7 types or dimensions of well-being. And the first one is physical well-being. The second one is emotional well-being. The third one is intellectual well-being. The fourth one is social well-being. The fifth one is spiritual well-being. The sixth one is environmental well-being. And the 7th one is occupational well-being. So these are the 7 types or dimensions of well-being. And once we address those 7 dimensions or types, then we are completely healthy. We are free from diseases. We are free from illnesses. We are free from sicknesses. We are free from damage of the body and or the mind. Yes. So family, living a healthy life can prevent you from chronic diseases. It can also prevent you from long-term sicknesses. Because it was too long, this system This world promotes sickness. And they say it's all right. That's just life. Sickness is just life. No, sickness is an effect of something that is not balanced. Or it's an indication that you need to pay attention to something mentally, because your body is nothing but an effect of the cause, which is mental. So whenever you have something that is unbalanced, or a disease, which means not at ease, dis-ease, not ease, not at ease. So that means that there's no balance, that you need to pay attention to your balance, that something is going on, which the cause is in your mind first. And the cause can be conscious or unconscious. So we must pay attention to this mind and this body. Because if your mind is not right, there's no way possible that you can be spiritual. Because the mind is the gateway to the spiritual. Family, we must understand terminology. We must understand these words, because they play games on us with this bastard language that we call English. And unfortunately, most of us as a people, the original people, only know one language, and that's English, somebody else's language. And it's very tricky. It's mostly, English is not even a pure language. It's composed of three major languages, and that's Latin, French, and German. And they have many meanings to one word. That's why they can trick us up and switch up on us when it's ever convenient for them. So we must study the causes and effects of our reality, because we've been thrust into an environment that is not for us. It's very unhealthy. And that's why I like to share with you these the different terms and the different situations that we're in. And today is all about health. Now, healthy living or a healthy lifestyle can prevent you from chronic diseases and long-term sicknesses. Have you ever seen people that are sick all the time? Diseased up all the time? This is the norm. So what do? They say, come to the hospital. Come see me. This is the enemy. All of a sudden, he's interested in us after he so-called freed us. Freedom is an inside job. No one can free you. That's an individual thing. So they say, come to see me. The doctors, the very ones who promoted the sickness now, the ailments and the diseases. And what do? They drug you up. They give you a false sense of, I feel better, or I'm healed, when in fact, the drugs just deaden your nerve endings, giving you the illusion that I'm better. But no, all drugs are no good. Because if you study our reality, in the beginning, it says, let the food from the tree be your meat, not animals. Let the food from the tree be your meat, and let the herbs from the field be the healing of the nation. Family, we must study, we must understand this. But through disobedience, through our not having the balance of being stiff about everything, being rebellious, nature just went crazy. So the animals start eating each other. We started eating animals, and we just disregard the laws of the universe, God's laws. Let the food from the tree be your meat, and let the herbs from the field be the healing of the nation. Now, a lot of these people out here in this world, these drug dealers that we call, they even say go to the drug store. Are we paying attention to that? The drug store? So that you can get your drugs. So they're nothing but drug dealers. They have they have herbs, but they add chemicals to it. That's what makes it a drug. And that's what creates all these side effects. because the body cannot take all of those chemicals, especially for the original people. Because some of these so-called diseases and all of this so-called medication we never even heard of before. Because we used to take herbs, and the herbs was nasty, bitter, which was good for us because parasites cannot um, cannot survive in a bitter environment. That's why we get healed faster. But with these drugs, you got all kinds of problems. The drugs don't even have the intelligence to go nowhere and fix anything. That's ridiculous. It goes all through your bloodstream and it affects everything. But when you're taking herbs, which is from the fields, which is from the earth, which this body is from the earth, the herbs jives with the energy of our bodies. And there is no side effects. There's only energy that jives with itself. So we must get back to nature, get back to the original way of life. Because this crazy stuff that's happening to us today, you can't even tell who's who. Let those other folks have what they want. And we need to learn how to mind our business and stay more earthly, stay in tune with nature. But when you move into these concrete environments, you know what I mean, like the cities and and so forth, you know, you're further away from nature. That's why Southern people are better in their thinking and more healthy. But when we get away from that environment, then all hell breaks loose. And then we get dumbfounded about it. I'm just sharing with you, family, this is the truth. I know some of us don't want to hear that because most of us don't want to be responsible. We got to go back and get it because we left too much behind when we so-called integrated. Here it is, the original people integrated with the Johnny-come-lately people. But the Johnny-come-lately people pretend that they have all the answers to everything. How was that possible? There's no way. We are the original people, so therefore we're the chosen people. We are the children of God. So let's get back to our balance, which is health. And healthy living can prevent those chronic diseases and those periods of sicknesses and all of that. So, like I said, disease, dis-ease, not at ease. So we need to devise or accept a process that will get our balance back. So we will be at ease. We'll be at peace. We'll be balanced. But living a healthy lifestyle, family, will contribute to two things. Living a healthy lifestyle can contribute to two things, and that's your self-esteem and your self-image. Back in the day when I was coming up, image was the most important thing. Now today, it doesn't matter because the norm say, hey, look, most people don't even feel bad when they all off balance because that's the way the world is. So they don't feel so bad because the majority are that way. But we must learn how to mind our business and keep away from everybody else's business, especially when they don't have our interests at heart. I'm coming to you, family, with love, with respect. Because respect is the balance, is the foundation to love. But we talk too much love without getting the foundation correct. You must have respect first, and then you can build love on the foundation of respect. And that's why the staple singers always saying, respect yourself. So family, self-esteem and self-image is the most important thing. Now, what we need to do is to get into metaphysics And metaphysics is nothing but it just deals with the first principles of everything. And what's the first principle of everything other than the cause? The cause is always the first principle of everything. We need to get back to the causes of things. Isn't that the law of karma, cause and effect? So when you get back to the causes of things, then you tap into your God-given senses to do what you need to do to make the necessary adjustments to get your balance. Now, let me give you an example of metaphysics, since that's talking about the first principles of everything. Let's look at asthma. I counseled a lot of people who had asthma. And what I revealed to them that asthma is where you're gasping for air all the time. And what that really means that you are gasping for love. So each one of them that had asthma, once they had a sound relationship, that asthma just dissipated. It was though they never had it because they felt a sense of connection, a sense of love and respect. And that's what we need to give to ourselves first and to one another. Metaphysics is a higher level of the physical. Yes, we must get into that. Always remember that the environment dictates. The environment always dictates. So we must be careful of the environments that we participate in or put ourselves in, or the environments that we entertain. You have the physical environment. Be careful with that. The mental environment. Be careful with that emotional environment. We need to get out of that. We need to go back to our original way of space. You know, what I mean by space, I mean open space of, country life. We had a lot of areas where, there's fresh air, there's nature. We got to get back to that. We are nature people by nature. So we have to get out of the environment that doesn't promote health for us. If everybody else wants that, let them have it. Let them have it. We are two different, kinds of people. We are the original people. So everything is based on energy. All environments are based on energies, and certain energies is not for us. And your body and your mind will be affected by that. So we must do all we can to create a balance that is in line with the creative process. And our ancestors were blessed with the blueprint of life to give us those answers. So all we need to do is honor and represent our ancestors because they had answers. They might not have been all this educated in these education systems. You got a bunch of dumbass educated fools, but they had life skills. Life skills. So if I had life skills, my intelligence would tell me to be educated. But we must have life skills first before we go out into these environments. If not, you get trapped like most of us are. People sick as I don't know what, and they justifying it. Well, you got to die from something. They eat anything. You got to die from something. Yeah, but you don't have to suffer along the way. Why suffer? We have accepted, suffering is going on so much, we have accepted it as a way of life. Well, you speak for yourself because I don't want none of that. Suffering is too expensive, and I can't afford it. Too expensive. So good health is an important enabler. It's an important enabler for a positive family and a positive community. And good health is an enabler which enables you to make a positive contribution to the family and the community. The family and the community. You'll be able to participate and make a positive impact in the community through your efforts, because you're blessed through your efforts. No efforts, no blessings. A little effort, a little blessings. Medium effort, medium blessings. A lot of effort, a lot of blessings. That's just life. That's life. So we must be in tune with life, especially when we are the original people. If we are the original people, then God breathed the breath in this clay that he formulated to make man. So if God breathed his breath in us, which is the soul of us, which we are the original soul man, then we are the physical image of God. The physical image of God. But we get tricked up by these terms, God and so forth and so on, through this religion, because they don't want us to know. Because most of these leaders, all they want to do is control us anyway, so they can get as much money as they can. Because they have a lot of them sold their soul for a nonprofit status, as I've said many times. And I know some of you don't want to hear that, because you're in love with old Rev, the imam, the bishop, all of these other so-called leaders, the rabbis and all of them. But don't get fooled by the titles. Look at what they're doing. I have many titles, but please hold me accountable of what I do with these titles. Because God is not interested in your titles. He's interested in what you're doing, how you're executing what he has blessed you with. It is what it is. And if it is what it is, it's going to be what it's going to be. It's not going to change because you want it to change. You have to be about change. You have to have it to give it. So family, in order to stay healthy, you must be consistent and intentional with your efforts. Like I said before, you're blessed through your efforts. So bless yourself through your efforts. Be intentional with using our ancestors as a frame of reference. Because we are the ancestors in the physical. So we must keep our mind's eye on the spiritual ancestors. Keep the connection. Call on them when you need them. Ask them to lead, guide, and direct and protect you along the way, so that you can fulfill your purpose and create a divine legacy that will last for generations. So family, with that in mind, I also would like to share with you that there are five steps to improving your holistic way of life, which is your health. The first one is we must get outdoors. We must do more outdoor activity. Remember when they had COVID-19, or they still do right today, they say stay inside. And not only stay inside, but separate yourself from each other. That is the craziest thing I ever heard. We must get outside, because one thing about us as a people, we are sun people. We need the energy from the sun and the energy that's coming from nature. We are nature people. We are energy people. We need that. Our skin, the melanin does what? It absorbs the energy from the sun. It energizes us. Where the other people, The light skinned white folks, or whatever you want to call Caucasians, their skin repels the sun. It stays on the surface. That's why they get skin cancer. They get sunburn. So they got to put on chemicals and something things to go out there in the sun. Anytime nature has a negative effect on you, something's not right. So we need the sun. We are sun people by nature. They love the cold because it preserves their raw skin. They are now healed leopards by being around us. They learn how to be more healthy. They learn how to be more balanced, the thinking and so forth. But they want to take the credit for everything. And what do? We give it to them. Like they are the masters of everything. Everything that they know that is positive and that is good, they got it from us. They learned it from us and flipped it on us. Because remember, during slavery, we had no rights. We had no representation. So now we must reclaim our reality that we are the original people. We are the chosen people. We are the children of God. They're just mad and upset that they can't be in charge of the house of the rising sun, which we are. They have this love-hate relationship with us. They love us because of our style, our rhythm, our energy, but they hate us because they can't be like us. That's why they'll get everything they can from us and then destroy us. So don't let them highlight one person that they do something to as though that's just one isolated incident. They've been doing the same thing to us since the beginning. So know that that is an epidemic, that's a pattern. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them school you. And these so-called leaders need to bring that to the forefront. And they need to teach us about health, diet. You know what I mean? Don't put certain things that are in our system that's against us. Pork and all of that. Well, we ate that during survival, during slavery. Yes. But when God bless you out of it, then you go back to your natural ways. But for some reason, we got addicted to it. And some people who work their way out of it, we're talked about. We're teased, slandered. You've been raised on pork. What, you trying to be new? Yes. You need to try to be new. That's transformation, isn't it? That's change, isn't it? That's growing, isn't it? That's adjusting, isn't it? That's moving, isn't it? That's metamorphosing, isn't it? But we're so busy fighting to stay the same. Why? Because we're addicted to it. Pork is the worst animal on the face of the earth because it was created to clean the earth. Shellfish and bottom feeder fish like catfish and all of that, they stay at the bottom of the water. They were created to clean the water, the bottom. And we eat all that stuff. Make it a delicacy because other people do. Good. But you pay big for that. Let the food from the tree be your meat, not the animals. Why bury death in your stomach? Why make your stomach a graveyard? You bury death in the ground where it came from, the earth. It goes back to the earth. Why bury it in your stomach? And that's why you have some heavy consequences by being disobedient. You season it up with the herbs and everything to make it taste like something that you can eat. But eating it by itself, you wouldn't do that, would you? So let's be real, family. I'm here not to change the laws, but I'm here to fulfill the laws. And I know that you don't like some of the things that I'll be saying because now you have to make adjustments, and most people are not willing. But it's all good. I got my blessings. I'm getting my blessings by letting you know. And prayerfully, you would do all you can to work your way into your balance, your reality. So the first thing to do with improving your holistic way of life or your holistic health to improve it is to get outdoors. Get some of that Ra, which is the sun, and go in the park, you know, and go out there on the nature walks, because when you're in this concrete and asphalt and concrete jungle, which we call the cities, it makes you hard. I'm born and raised in the South, and I come up into these concrete jungles, man, and everybody is kind of hard there. So we got to calm ourselves down by getting into the environment that promotes that. The second thing is we must be about meditation. Get up in the morning with meditation or prayer, and go to bed with meditation and prayer. Matter of fact, we pray too much. Why don't we just become a prayer? Just be. Meditation is going within, tapping into the presence and the power of God that's always there. So we must tap into that. The third thing is we must eat mindfully. We must be mindful of what we put in our system. This is the house of God. We just can't put anything in there. Put energizing food, put food that jives with our system, that comes from the earth. Another thing is toxicity. Let's get rid of all of this toxic stuff, toxic thinking, toxic eating, and toxic way of life, these environments. And some of these people love to stay in these toxic environments that we care for, but be careful dealing with these people. You better understand when to know, you must know when to hold and know when to fold. It's all good. The last thing is to use affirmation. Affirmation can be act as if, or visualizing yourself as the way you want to be, your body size and everything. These New Year's resolutions don't mean nothing. Nobody fulfills them. So just go ahead on and adopt a way of life and be who we need to be, so God can enter into our clean house, not an unclean house. So family, we are first spiritual, mental, and physical. But we were taught that we're physical, mental, and spiritual. Just like they said, good, better, best. Sometimes your best is not good enough, so you should do better. So better should be at the top, not best. Spiritual should be at the top for us, not physical. Look at what they did to us. Sometimes we curse ourselves out of ignorance. Keep following these people. We got to be careful. That's why I say study to show yourself approved, and lean not to your own misunderstanding, really, but rightly dividing the word of truth. Pyramid thinking, once again, is right thinking, right giving, and right eating. Think good thoughts. Think righteous thoughts. Think unity thoughts. Think community thoughts. Think family thoughts. Think respectful thoughts. Loving thoughts. Right? Giving. Be careful what you give your attention to, give your body to. Be careful what you give your mind and your body. Be careful with that. Don't do it because you can. Most people do it because they can, but some things we shouldn't. And right eating, be careful what you eat, mentally and physically. That's pyramid health. So family, don't forget pyramid is 3. That's a complete number. That's a spiritual number. Then you put the circle around the pyramid, that's 360. And God's eye in the middle. That's life. That's balance. That's all that. And that's what we are. Because God cannot use sick people. Sick people are unclean people. So we must clean our house out, this temple out, so God can enter and stay there. A lot of people be praying and saying, well, let me pray, God, please come into my life. Come into your life? Well, where did he go? You should recognize the presence and the power of God at all times. And when you look at the mirror, there it is. What's going on with us? We got to do all we can to get our balance back, but we have to get it back through each other. We need each other more than ever before. Unity, community, family, the team is what can get us back to our reality. This is what our ancestors want. This is what God wants. This is what the balanced mind people want and promote. So family, I pray that you got something from what I shared with you. If the shoe fit, wear it. If it don't, keep it moving. Thank God. So I love you. I bless you. And I want you to prosper. Stay strong and keep your faith where it belongs. Do your best and let God do the rest. You got to know when to hold and know when to fold. But you have to be intentional. Keep your head towards the universe where all strength comes from, and never give up and never, ever, ever, ever give in, no matter how things seem, which is emotions, because everything is, always was, and always will be in divine order. God don't make no mistakes, but we do. But when you learn from your mistakes, it's all good. So keep on growing and keep on learning. You can't go wrong. And learning can be painful. No pain, no gain. Remember that? But once you get to the other side of that pain, you can't beat the blessings. Family, keep your lights on and keep them bright at all times. Hotep, Baraka, and peace. Dr. Sadiki Baye, your servant. Love with respect. Happy new journey.